Hey Nathan, it's Monday, September 21st. I loved your video about female astronauts and their mysterious periods. I think it was a really important video to make because it not only showed how men used to be in control of women's lives completely and got to decide everything that they did, basically, but it also shows how much we've learned about the female body in only just recent years and how it's been able to allow women a little bit more freedom now that they're understood a little better, which is awesome. You also brought up Sally Ride, which I love, but you forgot to mention that I met her, and I have a autographed t-shirt of that to prove it. Check it. But yeah, I met her when I was like a young girl at the University of Missouri in Kansas City. They were having like a special like science day for girls, and they featured Sally Ride, and it was really cool. So yeah, seeing women in science is very inspirational, and seeing them not being held back by their womanhood is preferable and very much appreciated. And that's awesome in the long run too, because the more people who are educated in general, the better our world is gonna be. There's no question about it. But Nathan, you and I have found through our study with charities especially that education is highly at risk when people don't have good access to healthcare. Now, our country is currently facing a dividing issue on women's health care, and it is centered around the nonprofit organization Planned Parenthood. Last Friday, the House of Representatives in the U.S. Congress voted to freeze funding for Planned Parenthood for the next year. The internet is abuzz with so many opinions on the issue, with a lot of exchange of intelligent and unintelligent thoughts. And it's hard to formulate or defend a position without knowing the basic information about Planned Parenthood or what they do. Well, here at Nathan and Rose, we are just basic enough to be able to tell you the basics about stuff. According to Wikipedia, Planned Parenthood is a nonprofit organization that provides reproductive health as well as maternal and child health services. It was started in 1921, then named the American Birth Control League, by Margaret Sanger, who was an advocate for women's access to birth control and sex education. There are currently over 700 centers in the U.S., which are operated by 59 independent affiliates of the organization. Planned Parenthood provides many different services for women and families, particularly those who can't afford to go somewhere else. These services include access to contraception, breast, cervical, and testicular cancer screenings, abortions, treatments for STDs and menopause, counseling on pregnancy, sexuality, and gender, and more. Their nationwide consistent availability often makes them the only place where some men and women can get safe sexual counseling, treatment, and information. Even though Planned Parenthood has been operating nationwide for almost a century, they've only been funded federally since 1970 under Nixon's Family Planning Services and Population Research Act. Title 10 of that law specifically allots for family planning services like contraception and counseling. About 1/3 of Planned Parenthood's money comes from the government, and none of that is used to perform abortions. Recently, the anti-abortion organization Center for Medical Progress hired some actors who went undercover and filmed their interactions with Planned Parenthood workers, hoping to get incriminating evidence on the workers selling fetus tissue. Edited videos released to the public make it seem as if the illegal sale of body parts was possibly happening, but official investigations into the issue have turned up no evidence against the Planned Parenthood workers. Planned Parenthood does donate fetal tissue, and only with consent from the patient. It's very similar to donating your body to science after you die. The Center for Medical Progress is under fire for the undercover filming, the entrapment, the lies, and the invasion of the patient's privacy. The controversy of these videos has motivated the Republican-led House of Representatives to pass a bill freezing the funding of Planned Parenthood for the next year while further investigations ensue. The passing of that bill is seen as mostly symbolic, though. Neither the Democrat-run Senate nor President Obama are expected to pass it. The actions of the Center for Medical Progress remind me of PETA when they falsified videos to make it seem like slaughterhouses were way less humane to their animals in support for their cause against animal cruelty. Everything claimed by them has been well refuted, but their falsified propaganda has turned many people against an organization that helps out many women, men, and families who can't get medical help elsewhere. I understand that this debate is a very sensitive issue, so let's look at some happy facts. According to the CDC's most recent reports from the year of 2010 to 2011, the number and the rate of abortions went down by 5% and is falling faster and faster annually. Teen pregnancy is also at a record low, with a drop of 10% just from the year 2012 to 2013. These rates are definitely attributed to things like access to sexual education and contraceptives from organizations like Planned Parenthood, and these facts should not be ignored. Nathan, we'll see you on Wednesday.